I don't think that I've been imparting any new news that we live in a global marketplace. We're living in a world where Pokemon Go can launch one day and be the number one downloaded app in countries across the world. So we're there. It isn't about the future. What I find interesting, though, is that as companies are looking to expand and grow and diversify globally, they don't necessarily have the talent in-house needed in order to understand those end consumers and those new markets that they want to enter into. So there's a couple things that have to take place in order for us to truly be set up to be able to serve these new markets. Number one, diversity is a priority. I mean, to a degree, it's a numbers game. You need diversity of thought and diversity of cultural background in order to be sitting at the table to be able to help make decisions. And those decisions happen at every level, from business strategy down to tactical social media executions. But much deeper than just the number of people you hire, there are real tools that need to be given to people who are hired into organizations, because even though you may have a different background, you may not necessarily know exactly how to use your voice in the right way and truly be integrated into the culture. So the culture itself needs to be receptive to an alternate point of view, because that new point of view is going to be busting some biases that exist when you have people in common backgrounds. And I think thirdly, and probably most importantly, in order for any of this to be effective, you have to have senior level buy-in. So this needs to start at the top. Top leadership needs to understand that this is a priority, and it isn't just, it is in part a human resource initiative, but it is not only a human resource initiative, it is an everyone's initiative. So there were two studies that I think were kind of seminal in my inspiration for starting the program that I started. In 2015, McKinsey released a study on 366 companies, and they found that companies that had racial and ethnic diversity in the top quartile were 35% more likely to have financial returns above the mean within their category. Credit Suisse did a global audit of 2,400 companies, and what they found is that companies that had at least one woman on the board had higher financial returns than those that didn't. So even just having one woman made a difference because they were bringing different thought perspective. The hypothesis is that when you have people of dissimilar backgrounds, they need to bring facts to the table instead of a shared history. So you're increasing the knowledge in the room, and people are debating with data, facts, and knowledge instead of just an anecdote that they know they share with someone else. Seattle's a great environment. Seattle, I've found, embraces learning and innovation, and there's a number of programs that exist out there to educate about the importance of diversity. Although I will say that I found what I saw as a specific need. A lot of diversity or inclusion programs were really focused on one area of business. Maybe that was human resources, or maybe that was legal and regulation. But what I heard people say to me is that they would love to have a best practices guide that showed what each department can do in a really healthy system in order to enable it. So it doesn't start with just hiring. It looks at how to set up your strategy team, how to set up your marketing team, how does legal deal with sensitive topics when you're talking about cultural backgrounds, what are those boundaries look like, and how do you create an environment that truly operationalizes inclusion so that the business itself is set up to win. So I started a group called All of Us Seattle through Meetup. We've had some guest speakers from great companies around the Northwest, Zillow and GoDaddy, and I have a few other companies that are on the slate. So while we've started with hiring and training, I'm looking to dive deeper into some of the more strategic areas of business in order to truly build out this year-long learning series that helps all businesses